Hello everyone and welcome back to the 3-Digit World Cup. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. It's a fine time to watch some OS. We've got a great match here at the 3-Digit World Cup in the losers semifinals between Sweden and Indonesia. Sweden, a team with a full 6-player roster, captained by Skilla. Indonesia, the only team in the tournament to make it to the semifinals weekend without a full 6 players. They are playing with the minimum 4-player roster requirement for Indonesia here, but they have managed to make it into the top 12 alongside Sweden for this match. I think this one's going to be a really interesting match as every player on Indonesia are really strong, and Sweden with a good core roster with a lot of people who can sub in for certain picks. I'm Dio. I'm going to be back with Resoa in a moment. Resoa needing to take care of some things around the house first, so we'll be back in a couple of minutes to start this match off alongside me. In the meantime, I'm going to shout out Osu Live. Osu Live currently going live with the Osmania 7K World Cup losers finals between Malaysia and Philippines. If you're interested in watching the Mania World Cup, you can check them out as well. But if you're here for the standard, you're at the right place, because 3-Digit World Cup is the I think highest skill cap tournament going on right now, and these teams definitely living up to that. Lots of very good players on both of these squads. On the roster for Sweden, Skilla, Yageko, Lightwine, Melwem, Trumpetino, and Spinks. Skilla and Spinks, the 2 core rosters for this team. They've looked really good all throughout the tournament so far, with support coming through from their other players on certain maps. As for Indonesia, Skydiver, their captain, with Dito, Nazmi Amamiya, and Ninomai Inanis as their supporting players. The 2 VTuber names, I believe, are Delon and Mindfrost for Indonesia. Those names probably a little bit more familiar to most players. These teams in qualifiers, I believe Sweden being that higher seeded team out of quals, they were seed 10 versus Indonesia's seed 13, so you actually expected Indonesia to lose their matchup versus Poland last weekend in the losers bracket. Indonesia upsetting that match 6-2 and making their way here into the losers semifinals. Indonesia facing off against, Sweden facing off against Russia in the round of 16 and beating them on tiebreaker before losing to our second seed, the United States, 6-2 in the quarterfinals. No surprises there for either of these teams. I think if you are Indonesia facing off against Brazil, you're probably not winning that match with how good Brazil has looked throughout the tournament. And of course, Sweden up against the United States. It's a tough matchup. Really, the most surprising result are those 2 early upsets, Sweden beating out Russia and Indonesia beating out Poland. So both teams with an upset against a higher seeded team to get here to the top 12. And we're seeing some first bans coming out. First ban for Sweden is going to be that hidden 3. No low AR reading allowed for Indonesia. The low AR reading throughout the tournament has been not bad for Indonesia. They were number 5 overall on the hidden 2 last weekend in quarterfinals. And they have opted into playing those low AR free mods multiple times as well. Number 4 on the low AR free mod in quarterfinals as well. And if you're looking at the hidden 1 in qualifiers, that low AR hidden in quals, you're looking at Indonesia number 5 on that map. So way better overall score than Sweden, with really only Skilla being a comfortable low AR hidden player for them. Indonesia actually first banning the Nomad 5. I think that's very surprising given how well they have done in comparison to Sweden on those low AR picks so far. So Sweden may be rethinking the potential Fremont 3 ban as another one of their bans. We'll see what they end up wanting to go with. I'm very surprised to not see Indonesia just insta-ban Speed against this Swedish roster, who have had that head-to-head advantage on Speed against Indonesia pretty much all throughout the tournament in quals, in round of 16 as well. Actually, quarterfinals, Indonesia with number 3 on the Nomad Speed pick, but notably no Nomad Speed here. It's all DT Speed, and Sweden has had a leg up on Indonesia on that DT Speed throughout the tournament so far. Same as on stream maps for Sweden, so maybe we'll see a Nomad 2 ban from Indonesia this round. We're going to need to see that second ban soon. I'm thinking either the Nomad 2 or the DT3 here for Indonesia as a second ban if you're looking at skill sets that are abusable for Sweden in this matchup. Yeah, the Hard Rock 2 instead, though, for Indonesia, banning out that Hard Rock tech pick. I'm again a little surprised. You look at the head-to-head for Hard Rock last weekend, it is Indonesia with a better score on the Hard Rock 2 last week. Of course, that wasn't tech, but kind of tech-adjacent precision. You look at the Hard Rock pool in round of 16, it is Indonesia again with a better score on the Hard Rock 2 finger control precision in that slot. But you look at the qualifiers and it is better scores for Sweden, so maybe just a matter of consistency, and Sweden maybe a little bit better on the skill cap, especially with the number 6 overall score on Akan Baby in qualifiers from the Hard Rock 2. So I don't think a bad ban, but I think less precise of a ban than something like the DT pool. We'll see whether Sweden actually opts to go into that DT pool and into the Nomad stream pick, as they have had success on those picks against other teams, and specifically looking at their head-to-head versus Indonesia here. It's gonna be the Nomad 4 last ban for Sweden as well, banning out those tech and gimmick maps against Indonesia. No real corresponding map in the qualifiers to look at, but you do have... Actually, have either of these teams played tech throughout this whole tournament? I don't think so. Neither of these teams has played tech all throughout this tournament so far, so kind of an odd ban here for Sweden, maybe just not wanting to play the pick. But I think that map probably would have been untouched if they had left it alone. So we'll see how well these bans work out for both of these teams, and particularly for the Hard Rock 2 and Nomad 4 bans, whether any of these teams is willing to pick into stuff like Shadow Castle or stuff like Jester later on in the pool. But each team banning out tech separately is a very odd ban phase, that's for sure. With the Hard Rock 2 ban from Indonesia and the Nomad 4 ban from Sweden, it's an odd ban phase, that's for sure. Waiting on the first pick for Indonesia here. I think if you are Indonesia looking at these bans from Sweden, you probably want to pick into some of the hiddens, maybe into something like the Hidden 2. You have a lot of pretty good hidden alt players, but it's going to be a DT2 first pick for Indonesia, which again, I am a little surprised at. You have Sweden, the team picking into DT Speed in quarterfinals. Indonesia did not play it whatsoever. You have Sweden being the better team on Nomad Speed in round of 16, and being better on DT Speed in round of 16. And if you're looking at speed in the qualifiers, it's both of Sweden's DT scores being better than both of Indonesia's DT scores on the DT2 speed mapping quals. So I'm very surprised at this pick personally. We'll see how well it works out for them. This is definitely a bit of a kind of left field pick. The only thing that I can think of that makes them want to pick this is the fact that they had the number 3 team score on Nomad 2 last weekend. That was a speed Nomad pick around the same BPM range. So maybe feeling confident on this style of map after last weekend. It was a pretty big gap between the Indonesian roster and Swedish roster on that pick as well. So maybe just feeling good after last weekend's Nomad 2. We'll see whether this one works out for them or not. To start us off here, going to be Skydiver, Nazna, and Ninamai on the side of Indonesia. Again, that's Skydiver, Mindfrost, and Delon, if you're looking for their original names and the names they are much better known by rather than just the VTuber squad. On the side of Sweden, likely to be Yagiko, Lightwine, and Trumpetino for this map. Maybe we see Spinks or Skilla come in, but probably not Skilla. I would expect it to be Spinks if we are going to see one of those core 2. And it is going to be Melwem actually coming in for Sweden. Not going to be Lightwine or Trumpetino as their third on this map. So looking for solid performances out of this Swedish speed roster. Melwem has gone in for stuff like the DT2 last weekend, although that was Magenta Potion. And apparently we have the wrong team for Melwem. So going to be getting Melwem onto the right team and restarting the map here. Early breaks from multiple players, actually. Skydiver, Ninamai, and Melwem all finding those drops. Just Nazna, Yagiko, and Spinks on the full combos. So starting off well for Sweden with that two-way full combo themselves. But there goes Yagiko actually missing on one of those first more Peloium-intensive streams. More stamina intense as well as you get through the halfway point in this map. This is a super short pick, by the way. We are already over halfway through. There goes Binks and Yagiko. It is Nazuna with the full combo, and that's it. Good combo on Ninamai as well, but not a lot of combo to be found throughout the map right now for either team. It really is Indonesia popping off on this one, and the first pick looking well placed so far. Ninamai is going to find that drop, but Nazuna still holding strong for Indonesia. And as long as that high combo stays on their side and these breaks keep happening for Melwem and Spinks, there's not going to be really any chance of a comeback here for Sweden. Already a 400,000 score lead for Indonesia, closing in on the end of the map. And that is, I think, the full combo for Nazuna. Never mind. My bad. Whoops. One miss at the very end of the map for Nazuna, but very solid 1 mil score for them. You look at the rest of the scores, you know, it's Ninamai on 540k, Binks on 530k, Skydiver on 400k, Yagiko on 440k. It's really just the difference of that top score versus the bottom score on the side of Sweden, giving all of that score lead over to Indonesia. So very solid first pick for them, as we do see nearly the full combo for Indonesia to come out. And yeah, it looks like that round of that quarterfinals Nomad 2 really setting the tone for this first pick speed map on the side of Indonesia. And now with the first pick for Sweden, Sweden, after the DT2 went that way, I don't think you're picking into speed to try and abuse that against this roster. So maybe trying out some of the other banned skill sets from Indonesia. It's the gimmick mostly that Indonesia has had issue with against Sweden. But again, you're looking at Hard Rock Indonesia being favored on that skill set pretty much all throughout the tournament so far, until you go back to qualifiers, where Sweden had complete dominance over the Hard Rock pool in comparison to Indonesia. So we'll see whether they can find something good for themselves there. Maybe they can find solid picks in the Nomad pool as well. It's just going to be Nomad 1 for Sweden here. They did have better overall Nomad aim scores in the qualifiers and in actually the round of 16 as well. They had a better Nomad aim score. On the aim consistency in quarterfinals as well, they had a better free mod aim consistency score there. So looking solid if you go back to the previous scores for both of these teams throughout the tournament so far. And this pick should be good for Sweden. And if this one is successful, it opens up a lot of the rest of the pool. Hidden 1, Hard Rock 1, Free Mod 2 in particular, as potential other picks for Sweden in this match.
Yeah, definitely.
And welcome back, Resoa.
Hello, I'm finally back, yeah. And I think there's number 1 pick from Sweden. You probably already said makes a lot of sense for Sweden. They do have Skilla, who is incredibly versatile. You do have Melwim, who is pretty good on that aim as well. You have Setpings, also really good aim scores so far in the tournament. I believe you have seen the free mod 1 last round with Hard Rock, which is really impressive. Obviously it's Hard Rock, but that doesn't take away his ability at aim. And this one, yeah, definitely a strong pick for Sweden. But it also kind of depends on Dito on the Indonesia side. Dito very, very, very good at that aim. So yeah, let's see how this one goes out. But I think that Sweden did pick really well with this.
All right, well, we'll see how well this goes for Sweden again on their first pick here. Gonna be breaking so far, rather extremely early break for Dito. Not gonna matter all that much. Dito has been a big part of this Indonesian roster so far, was their carry player earlier on in the tournament, and still looked pretty good last week against Poland as well, despite Skydiver being I think a bigger part of the team last week. Early break for the V2 squad on the side of Indonesia, though, in the first PI time, a quarter of the way through. Three-way full combo still intact for Sweden, looking strong so far for them on this map. There's a break from Melwem, does find a slider break at the very end of the first PI time, but combo is gone for Dito as well, so just not going to matter, and the aim consistency for Binks and Skilla going to start coming in clutch for Sweden, pulling that score lead toward their side. Going into the second PI time now. Early break for Skilla, but break as well for Ninomiya, and it is Spinks with the only full combo left in the lobby. Dito dropping alongside Melwem means it is Spinks versus Nazuna on this one. 200,000 score lead almost for Sweden now, with this FC still going strong for Spinks. And not a lot else to say here until we see a break from Spinks. This is not going over to Indonesia whatsoever. And the combos matching on the support from Ninomiya and Dito alongside Skilla and Melwem means it's basically all on Nazuna to hold this combo. Dito and Melwem will break once again. It's Ninomiya and Skilla with the only supporting combo, but bigger combo on that FC for Spinks as compared to the pretty high combo still from Nazuna. But over a 220,000 score lead for Sweden right now means this full combo is doing more than enough work to keep it on their side. Going into the last quarter of the map or so now, the breakdown section here with a lot of back and forth 1-2 jumps, and both of these players holding strong with these high combos. The FC for Spinks super impressive right now, continuing to hold in a lobby where no one else has. And just looking untouchable for Sweden. That FC 99.4 accuracy. It's very good ac as well for Nazuna. There goes Spinks actually. And now with breaks from Melwem and Dito as well, Ninomiya matching the combo from Skilla. Maybe Nazuna has enough time to bring this back, but it is a 200,000 score lead and just a sliver of map left. And there's the break from Nazuna. I don't think there was enough time anyway, but that's going to seal it up for sure. Sweden going to be taking their first pick as well, tying us up 1-1.
Really impressive score there from them. It did look a little bit close with Asuna Amemiya, but Ito with a surprisingly underperformance on the game pick for him.
All right, solid stuff for Sweden. They do get their first pick. And now just waiting on the next pick for Indonesia. The DT2 worked out for them pretty well, so maybe we see that Nomad 2, but Sweden did have success on stream consistency in the past, so not sure if they want to go toward Longinus here quite yet. We could also see Jester or Time Bomb picked up for Indonesia if they want to continue trying to abuse that higher BPM as well. Supernova is open for the first time this weekend, so maybe we see them roll into that higher BPM 285 speed in the DT3.
Yeah, I can definitely see DT3 being a pick for Indonesia. Maybe not right now, but a little bit later on probably. Nomad 2, I do think that it can still work out pretty decently, because this one is obviously 212, it's very stamina intensive. And there's star players like Skilla. He's pretty good at tapping, definitely. But it's not his most favorite skill set, sort of. And he does have to warm up quite well for it, so if he's not too incredibly warm on that one, it might be a decent pick for Indonesia, but do not count him out at all for that one.
Well, see what they end up wanting to go with. Taking their time with this pick, trying to make sure it's well placed. Been about 2 minutes though, so they're running out of time to put this pick in. And it is going to be Nomad 2 Longinus instead of that DT3. So once again, going with one of these tapping maps, but definitely the lower BPM of the two remaining pure tapping picks in the pool. 212 BPM, 2 minutes and 30 seconds here is Longinus. This is not the long version. This is a cut version, I believe, of the song. As full version is like 4.5 minutes or something like that. But still just as difficult. And I think the biggest point of difficulty on this map is that iconic drop. About 2/3 of the way through. You can see the diff spike there about 2/3 of the way through the difficulty graph in this song. The intro relatively difficult, and you still get some pretty difficult stamina as well during this section of the song here. But once you get that drop, that is where it really starts to pick up, and you see the stamina and flow aim spike really heavily in this map. So looking toward either team to be able to pull off good combos during that section, as a lot of the map really going to come down to whether they can hit that part. Basically right here in the song. And it looks like we do get the rosters for both teams ready to go.
Yeah, definitely no surprises here, except for maybe Skiller not being in here, as I've said. But Trumpetino, Lightwine, Settings, definitely 3 decent tipping players for this kind of number 2 here.
Oh, and already a lot of accuracy trouble for Ninomai on this, starting off with 80% accuracy, 93 for Skydiver on a chain miss as well. So not the greatest start for Indonesia on their second pick. It's Nazna with the full combo and 97 act to compete with that 97 FC from Spinks. Lightwine is going to find a miss aim, and so will drop that FC, but in a better spot overall for Sweden with that higher accuracy at the moment than Indonesia on one of their members. Really, that 93% on the full combo from Ninomai doing a lot of work, but further misses from Lightwine are going to make that inconsequential, as now it's the combo lead for Indonesia and the score lead swapping to their side as well.
Oh, Settings. Oh.
Yeah, Spinks really not having a good time with that section. Ninomai is going to drop. Lightwine will drop as well. Nazna, with that break earlier, going to even it up. It is Skydiver and Trumpetino. Trumpetino with the only full combo left in the lobby, but there goes Trumpetino, and it is Skydiver to hold on to combo for Indonesia and secure this point. Skydiver is somebody who has made a comeback into tournaments with this iteration of 3-digit World Cup. Very similar to Nissan on the side of Brazil, that match we watched earlier. And this is just Skydiver in a nutshell. Can you count on him to full combo basically any map in the pool? Can you count on him to be a solid rock of an all-rounder for your team? Absolutely. This guy used to be one of the scariest names in open rank international tournaments years and years ago, and has been a big part of why Indonesia is in the top 12, both in qualifiers and last week in particular in the quarterfinals during their losers bracket matchup versus Poland.
Yeah, and even despite that chain miss right at the end of that hard section, it still got Nasuna Amamiya with that really solid act, really solid combo. And yeah, 98.6 on this map is pretty good. And it was a pretty solid pick for Indonesia, going up 2-1 now against Sweden. And Spinks and Lightwine, Trumpetino, not really having the best time. Lightwine also just not having that super high combo.
Yeah, it's good overall team consistency from Indonesia, really. Again, only Ninomai's score lower than Trumpetino's, and that's the best score on Sweden. So similar to what we were looking at with South Korea on their own picks versus Brazil in the previous match. Similar level of dominance there for Indonesia on this one. And now we're going to see the second pick for Sweden, probably going with the Hard Rock 1 or Fremont 2, if I had to guess. Hidden ban from Sweden makes me think they might not want to be picking into that one. And while Hidden has been contested all tournament long by Indonesia, looking at the earlier picks in the Hidden pool, So I think Sweden probably going to try to avoid that pool for now and go into probably some of the other aim consistency in the pool. Hard Rock 1, DD1, Free Mod 2, I think all fine options. But if I had to pick one for Sweden, I'm probably picking the Hard Rock 1 myself. I think I wouldn't be too surprised to see them pick into that here. If they are feeling better on other sorts of skill sets, they could go with some of the flow aim in the pool, like the Nomad 3 or Hard Rock 3. But no, it is going to be that Hard Rock 1. It's going to be that basic aim consistency and stream consistency for Sweden. 200 BPM and much shorter streams mean you're not getting stamina capped on this map, excuse me. And you're pretty likely to find a lot of players on most teams who are comfortable with this sort of match. And we do have another match going on right now. It is Hong Kong versus Finland. That match is going to be live over at twitch.tv/OsuRUcast. Going to be cast in Russian, as we do not have a second stream channel live for 3-Digit World Cup. So if you're interested in watching Hong Kong versus Finland, that is, I believe, Seed 3 versus Seed... Yeah, Finland Seed 9 out of qualifiers. So Seed 3 versus Seed 9 on the other side of this quadrant of the losers bracket. You can go ahead and check that one out. Winner of this match will face the winner of Hong Kong versus Finland in the next round of losers bracket this weekend. So these matches with direct consequences for each other. In the meantime, this is the only match going on here. And I'm going to be looking at Melwem, Spinks, and Skilla to come in for Sweden on this Hard Rock 1. Skilla, not really a Hard Rock player, but good enough as a consistent all-rounder to still be comfortable on this pick for Sweden. Of course, Melwem and Spinks, both pretty good Hard Rock players. You got Skydiver and Nazna on the side of Indonesia. I believe that's Delon for Nazna. I do want to double-check that, but I believe that's Delon, if memory serves. Nope, that's Mindfrost. All right. 50-50 chance. Either I'm right or I'm wrong. Oh, well. Dito also coming in for Indonesia here. Dito, the other all-rounder for Indonesia, and has looked pretty good throughout the tournament, particularly in qualifiers in round of 16. Did have a bit of a worse match in the quarterfinals versus Poland, but still one of the strongest players for this roster, as we get a little bit of Bancho trouble getting Spinks in the lobby. Not sure exactly what's going on there, but Good Luck Have Funs are out, and everyone else is playing. I'm going to see if I can restart his client in particular and have it show up with his gameplay. Hopefully that works.
Yeah, hopefully Spinks is here, because, I mean, he is probably... Alright, that's good.
Oh, he is just starting the map. Let's see if I can fast forward him in time a little bit, and it will not fast forward him in time. I am going to ping the referee to not switch the map for a while, because we want to be able to see the full gameplay of both teams.
Yeah, so far, we're gonna wait, and Spinks definitely pretty good on that Hard Rock. One of the strongest Hard Rock players in Sweden. And on this map, a really solid player. Alright, the players have sort of caught up. We're definitely a little bit further behind now. But so far, both Spinks and Melwem finding breaks. Nasuna on the side of Indonesia also finding a break. It's only Skilla versus Dito and Skydiver. Actually, only kind of Dito. Skydiver did find a miss earlier on, but that's only 30-40 combo behind.
And there goes Skydiver now as well, so a little bit of a combo lead for Sweden. There goes Spinks, though, and now the score lead way on the side of Indonesia, as Dito with a very good combo and Mindfrost Nazuna on that FC for Indonesia, matching the FC coming out of Skilla right now. It's all on Skilla to hold the fort down for Sweden on this second pick, as if they're not able to do so, it's going to be really tough for Sweden to find a point on this map. Right now, looking good enough. Still relatively balanced among the combos. Melwem not too far behind Dito in terms of the combo for the map. About 350 combo back or so. And with those matching full combos on, much better act for Skilla. It is still going to keep it close. About 100k advantage for Indonesia now into the second PI time. We'll see if anyone on either of these teams breaks. It's going to be Spinks and Skydiver to trade within about 100 combo of each other. Still favoring Indonesia for now. But as long as Dito and Mindfrost can hold these high combos, there's no way that Sweden can actually bring this back, unfortunately.
Yes, Spinks not having a good time on this map at all so far. He is really far behind everyone else. Meanwhile, Nasuna Amamiya with that FC still against Skilla. There is Dito with that almost FC. And you kind of just have to pray for one of those two players to just break right now. And if that's not Bancho, then Dito is down, and combo advantage is now in Sweden's favor.
Yeah, I think that's a normal miss for Dito, not Bancho, but there goes Melwem. It's all down to the full combos. Skilla versus Nazuna, Mindfrost versus the Swedish powerhouse carry. Can Mindfrost hold and secure the breakpoint, or will Skilla bring this back to the side of Sweden? The map is not over yet. I don't see a score in the chat, so hopefully this is Bancho just trolling for a second and we get to see the rest of the map. Please God, let Bancho just be trolling for a second there. There goes Spinks, actually. He has stopped playing, and I don't want to actually press panic because I think the rest of the lobby is over besides Spinks. He was very behind. So we're going to look at Skilla, and Skilla is going to find the drop, actually. Not going to be the full combo for Sweden, and that is going to secure the point regardless of the score for Spinks for the side of Indonesia. That score lead already about 300,000 or so. And very, very solid overall run for Indonesia. 600k on Dito, 840k and climbing still for Nazuna. And unfortunately, Spinks just not quite able to match Skydiver's bigger combos and better accuracy throughout the map. And that is going to be the win on the pick for Indonesia. 3-1 now against Sweden.
That was very, very bad for Sweden indeed. That pick just didn't work out at all. Spinks had a really, really unfortunate time on this map for him.
Yeah.
I think that is very uncharacteristic for him, and Skilla not being able to match Nasuna just that much, and Dito also having a really high combo. Skydiver getting that high AC score buff as well. So it was very, very doomed for Sweden. And now Indonesia is up 1-3, the first breakpoint, and they have a better time on tapping compared to Sweden, so they can just pick all of those other maps. You still got a DT3, you still got a DT4.
Yeah, and after a win on aim consistency like that, you can also open up stuff like the Hidden One. Indonesia has been the better hidden team, just barely throughout the tournament, but if you're better on aim right now, then picking into both a mod your team is a little bit stronger on, and the same skill set can also be good for you. So lots of options here for Indonesia looking at the rest of the pool. And yeah, on the last map, it really was just kind of 1-for-1, every player doing a little bit better for Indonesia than on the side of Sweden. About a 65k score lead for Mindfrost over Skilla, about a 70k score lead for Dito over Melwem, and about 150k score lead for Skydiver over Spinks. So just 1-for-1 the matchup going in Indonesia's favor for all three players, and just a little bit more consistency from any one of the players from Sweden might have been enough to swing it their way, but not meant to be this time around. Almost 300k score lead for Indonesia on that one. And now we're going to see what the next pick is for either of these teams. Indonesia, again, looking at the speed maps, maybe looking at the Hidden One. See what they want to go with. They're running out of time pretty shortly here. They're going to need to pick their next map soon. As timer running out, yeah, you're going to need to pick something. Just pick speed. Just pick the DT3. It's worked out so far. You've won DT2 Nomad 2. Pick DT3 or DT4 or DT1 or something. Because you got to pick some kind of map right now.
Guy that was saying that he is lagging and already picked.
Oh.
He has picked DT4 around a minute ago. No, actually nearly 2 minutes ago already.
Yeah, he picked it with more than 30 seconds left on the timer, and it just did not show up in chat. So that is going to be their pick, DT4. Not really surprising. Again, it's not pure speed like Supernova, but it's still high approach rate DT tech with some tapping elements as well, 258 BPM. And yeah, I think Bancho is having a little bit of trouble right now. I know there are some other tournaments who wanted to stream their matches and are having trouble actually getting the stream to work with a lot of difficulties from Bancho making that possible, or impossible rather. Anyway, gonna be good enough for Indonesia here. They're gonna get all their members in, and of course we just saw what happened to Spinks on the last map. So yeah, Bancho trolling a little bit today. Please bear with us for that in particular. Dito, Mindfrost, and Skydiver in for this one on the side of Indonesia. Yageko, Trumpetino, and Skilla looking to take a break point back from Indonesia.
Very important for them, definitely. This is probably the tapping pick that is most winnable for Sweden here. So they have to go all out on this one and pray that they can win this to get that breakpoint back, pick another map, and then level the score. Yeah, I really love
I think
Bancho.
Bancho's just trolling.
I really love Bancho. It's very fun. Oh, now we finally get into the map. Hopefully they haven't played for like a minute already.
No, we just got the MP start timer, so it should be good.
Should
be fine.
All right.
There we go.
Hopefully. All right, everyone's playing. Yeah, okay, nice.
All right, awesome. So, Indonesia up 3-1 in this match right now, looking to make it 4-1. Dito gonna find a very early miss. Probably won't matter too much. It's only a 100 combo in, but it is slightly better overall for Sweden. Dito really struggling with accuracy as well. 90%, little frowny face there in the bottom right corner of the map as well. Not happy with the accuracy so far. Gonna be looking to bring that back up here in the first slider finger control section. Breaks for Yageko actually. Dito holding on, just a Bancho miss there. Nobody breaking on the buzz slider as well. And everybody holding through this section outside of Yageko actually. Yeah, now into the bursts and combo advantage, score advantage for Indonesia.
And both Trumpetino and Skilla holding on to the Sweden team. Yageko finding another break right before the slightly... Oh, but Dito trading it, and now it's only 2 FC against 2. Egg advantage in favor of Indonesia by quite a bit.
Ack advantage though mostly on Dito, so not going to be as consequential as big ack advantage on these full combos. It is still slightly in the favor of Indonesia on the accuracy from the full combos, about 1% for both of their members, but not going to matter quite as much as the 3% advantage on accuracy for Dito over Yageko. 200k score lead, or 100k score lead actually right now for Indonesia. Miss there for Trumpetino though, not a real miss. Thank you Bancho once again. As we get into another slider finger control section, can they all hold on? Are those real misses from both Skydiver and Trumpetino? Looks like it. We're over 50 combo in. Is that a real miss from Skilla as well?
If so, then this is just over, and Nasma taking... Oh, he also breaks. It could also just be that one of them just randomly gets resurrected and still has his FC, but I think all of those breaks right there were real breaks. And yeah, Skydiver and Dito holding on to a little bit of the combo here in that harder section at the end. Oh, never mind, he also breaks. It's only Dito.
But no matter the break from Skydiver, not going to matter. Overall score lead still in favor of Indonesia. A little less than 200k, but it's enough to win the point. 780k for Mindfrost on that one. 600k from Skydiver, matched the about 630k from Trumpetino. and a little bit over 60k score lead for Dito over Yageko means a team advantage for Indonesia. Nicely played from them. One collective miss on this map, by the way. Literally one miss across the entire lobby. All slider breaks otherwise. Well, Indonesia in a very good spot at the moment. Sweden backs against the wall, down 4-1 in this match. Still winnable, but it's quite hard. As you are down that break point, you need to find a successful pick here. Your last pick was not good on the Hard Rock 1. You did lose that one. So aim consistency, despite the Nomad 1 win, maybe in question a little bit now. As with Hidden 1 left and DT1 left, DT1, both of the DTs and the Nomad 2 going the way of Indonesia, I don't think Sweden wants to pick into that higher BPM aim. I feel like we're probably going to see them try something different here, as either you're picking hidden aim, which is pretty good for Indonesia, you're picking free mod aim, which is also pretty good for Indonesia, or you're picking DT aim, where Indonesia have had the advantage on higher BPM maps throughout the pool so far. So I feel like we're probably going to see Sweden move into something different, whether that's something like the Hard Rock 3 or the Nomad 3 or Free Mod 1. Not entirely sure, but I think we're probably going to see them pick into something a little different here.
Yeah, they definitely have to, because, as you said, all of these aim picks are kind of even. You do have that hidden one. I mean, yeah, definitely Skiller can just somehow get 900k and bring them the win, but that's not really a great way to, win something. And we see Hard Rock 3 TFC CS 7.2 Flow Amy Precision Map. That one is interesting.
Yeah, I think this is a solid pick for Sweden. If you're wanting to pick into something different, one of Indonesia's bans is on the Hard Rock anyway. Yes, you lost the Hard Rock 1, but I don't think it's a bad pick at all. I was really looking at the Nomad 3, the Hard Rock 3 for Sweden as potential picks here. And going with the Hard Rock 3, I think, works relatively well for them. That said, it's not like Hard Rock is a given for this Swedish roster. They do lose the head-to-head on Hard Rock 2 last weekend in the quarterfinals, comparing the scores from these teams. They do lose the head-to-head on Hard Rock 2 in round of 16 as well, comparing the scores, though that one is very close. It was 100k, basically. And in qualifiers, that's really where Sweden has the advantage on Hard Rock. Both of their Hard Rock 1 scores better than both of the Hard Rock 1 scores from Indonesia. Both of their Hard Rock 2 scores better than both of the Hard Rock 2 scores from Indonesia. And Sweden getting the number 6 overall score on that Hard Rock 2 in qualifiers should inspire some confidence in this mod, despite the performance and bracket stage for both of these teams, with Indonesia having an edge over Sweden on Hard Rock in the round of 16 and quarterfinals. I think, look back to the qualifiers, go back to what your team can be a little bit comfortable with, and this sort of flow aim is something that a lot of players on Sweden are really good at, particularly Skillet and Spinks, both very good flow aim players.
Yeah, the CS 7.2 definitely also. I do think that Skilla is a little bit more inconsistent on CS this high, but I'm not blaming him. This is CS 7.2. It's not the most comfortable CS for a lot of players. So we do see Spinks and Lightwine. Lightwine did struggle a little bit on the Hard Rock 2 last round, only getting 270k. But I think this map, definitely a little bit different, more flowy. He did FC the stream map in free mod last round on the Hard Rock. So his Hard Rock flow aim at least is decent. And yeah, this is pretty good for... It should be a pretty good pick for Sweden, because they definitely need that point. They are not in a good position to lose yet another of their own pick.
Well, early break for both Skilla and Nazuna going to cancel each other out, so still fine for Sweden on this pick so far. Again, very high circle size, over CS7. CS7 used to be the highest rankable circle size before a couple of years ago. They changed it to make CS10 rankable, but For a long time, the highest ranked circle size you could get was CS7. This is higher than that. Spinks, Dito, and Skydiver all breaking. Very good for Sweden. As you still see Lightwine and Skilla with big combo. There goes Mindfrost as well, once again for Indonesia. Skilla and Lightwine will both break, and those chain misses going to give a lot of score back over to Indonesia. There goes everyone on both teams, actually. 6-way reset with a 50k score advantage for Sweden. Means this is just anybody's map at this point. Still half the map to go. Still the hardest parts of the map yet to come. This map ramps up in difficulty throughout the pick. None of these parts are the hardest in the map. You're waiting on that second half to really start challenging the difficulty of this map for lots of players. And here we go into the longer stream section. This is going to be the hardest part of the map for basically everyone. Chain misses are so easy to find in this part, but everybody holding through this section so far.
Yeah, this looks like this is the easiest part for a lot of players. Okay, Spinks and Dito and Skyler are fighting misses now. And I think the streams are getting even more spaced now. And both Skilla going down, Spinks going down. It's Lightwine against Nasuna, and Lightwine going down as well. Nasuna still holding onto his high combo. It's all eyes on him now. He needs to full combo this entire end now. And even then, it might not be enough.
It might just be enough, though. There's breaks for everyone on the side of Sweden. Can Mindfrost hold, and can it be enough? The accuracy drops at the end, I think, are actually enough to keep it on the side of Sweden. Less than 15,000 score. And those act drops at the end might have just bitten Mindfrost, as Indonesia lose that point just barely. Sweden able to take a win on their third pick, not lose that break point, and keep themselves competitive in the match.
Yeah, that was very, very important for them. Like, if that one went 1-5, it is very, very hard to come back from that. So 2-4, you know, it sounds like a lot, but that's just 2 picks away from being even again and having that momentum. So Indonesia, I mean, there's just that one map, DT3. It is smiling and waiting to be picked.
Yeah, I feel like if they're not picking DT3 here, maybe they're saving it for later. I could see them doing that. When you have that breakpoint advantage, you have a little bit more leeway to save quote-unquote guaranteed maps for later in the match. You know, in order to either secure a win without tiebreaker or secure tiebreaker in the event of a breakpoint. They're probably going to pick it at some point in this match. I would be extremely surprised if they go this whole match without picking it. But in the meantime, if they don't go for the DT3, stuff like the DT1 or maybe the Hidden One solid picks for Indonesia. They were very competitive on the Hard Rock 3, so even stuff like the Hidden 2 or Free Mod 1 can be good picks for them. I don't know about picking into the No Mod 3, but no, it is just going to be that DT3. They're going to go with the Pure Speed Mechanics Supernova by Awake.
Yeah, saving up a really, really good map for this situation now where they have a really, really high chance to go 5-2. And that score alone says a lot. It is pretty difficult in terms of mentality to win, because you do have to win 2 of your own picks if you're Sweden, and you also have to win the next Indonesia pick after this map to even get to a 5-5. So this is very, very good for Indonesia here to just pick the CT3, get it over with, hopefully win. But it does it's still a little bit surprising that we've been waiting for this map to be picked for that long now. So, no, there might be a surprise. Maybe one of them is not feeling it that much today. But I think this is still really, really favored towards Indonesia here.
Yeah, we'll see if they are all pretty much warmed up on this map. Definitely a tricky one with the super high BPM on this sort of map. I think still doable for most of these players, as we see Skydiver actually drop out once again. Honestly, I'd be really surprised to not see Skydiver in for this one, and there he is, moving up to slot number 6. So good luck, have funds out for both teams. Trumpetino, Yageko, and Skilla here to try to take a break point off of Indonesia, and as you said, bring it back to an even game state. Dito, Mindfrost, and Skydiver in once again. This is basically the 3-man squad for Indonesia, looking...
Yeah, Trumpetino wants to play D2-1 now, I think.
Oh yeah, hey, incredible.
Okay, now it works, and yeah, as the chat has said, skill is speed. He's decent at stamina at least now, but this high BPM 285, yeah, not his favorite skill set, and he is the first one to break now. This map is very short, 116. Any break counts so much on this one.
There's a break from Mindfrost as well, so even trade of breaks for both teams, and that's 90 ac for Mindfrost. That is not looking comfortable at all. 94 accuracy for Dito, just barely dropping down to 93 now. And this speed roster for Indonesia, yeah, they have combo advantage, but that accuracy is doing so much work for Sweden halfway through. And despite the combo lead, it is score advantage for Sweden at the moment. Trumpetino and Skydiver both miss on aim. So does Mindfrost. It's Yageko and Dito with the full combos left. Dito's going to need a break from Yageko in order to bring this over to the side of Indonesia, though, as now it's Skilla and Yageko holding on to combo. Everyone else missing in the entire lobby. It's Dito and Yageko with the only big combos, but Trumpetino still comboing for Sweden. And there goes Dito on the side of Indonesia, and that's a break point for Sweden. Yageko with this full combo, 96% accuracy. Massive score for Sweden to bring this back.
Yeah, that was important for Sweden so much. Skilla does have that 0 miss, but only 260 combo, and Yageko with that FC. Very impressive work here. 3 B ranks on the Indonesia side, and well, we did find the reason why they haven't picked us, because it seems like this was not their map. And both Trumpetino and Yageko being very competent speed, high BPM players. Yeah, this is surprising. It's 3-5. Sweden it's so back. Like, you either go 2-5 and you're so far behind, or you go 3-4 and it looks a lot more even all of a sudden. And honestly, also, like, just talking about Indonesia here, you did see, I think it was Dallin being there for that pick. 88%. It did not seem that comfortable. Dito, not only not being a tapping player at all, honestly, he did improve quite a lot on tapping, but he did top score that for his team, which is surprising. And also kind of shows that the tapping players on Indonesia just kind of not add the confidence and the overall high BPM shred for this one. And now Sweden definitely has to pick something really well to level the score. Being down 1-5, and now it's 3-4. It's looking a lot more brighter than before.
Well, I come back, of course, after a short bathroom break to the client just breaking. Yippee. Fremont 2 going to be the pick for Sweden here. So going with more of that aim consistency rather than leaning into the flow aim. It was very close on the Hard Rock 3, so I can't blame them too much for picking into something like this instead. This is much more awkward than something like the Hard Rock 1 or Nomad 1. Lots of flow aim, lots of wide angle jumps, lots of linear jumps, 234 BPM AR9 as well, so very combo dense. If you are taking Nomad or Hidden, there's a significant reading challenge to this map. If you are taking Hard Rock, of course, the aim control on the jumps is much more difficult with the increased circle size. So difficult map regardless of what mod you play it.
And I do honestly think that we probably see a overmod on the Sweden side. I think both Melwim and also Spinks, they do favor Hard Rock quite a lot. And Skilla is definitely the hidden carry for them. On the other side, Indonesia, I think Dido goes hidden. Skydiver goes Hard Rock, potentially. And then it's either Dallon or Mindfrost, and I think either of them probably also go Hard Rock, so I don't know if we really see anyone going Nomad on this one.
Yeah, we'll have to see whether they want to overmod or not. I feel like with Lightwine Melloman, yeah, maybe we just see the double Hard Rock for Sweden. Honestly, same for Indonesia. If we see Skydiver and Dido Mindfrost in, I feel like we're probably just going to see double Hard Rock probably from, well, maybe we can see Dido on the Nomad. And it actually is Mindfrost and Delon both in here. Delon coming in Ninomai Inanis.
Yeah, and we do see Mindfrost with that hidden Hard Rock. Dido with that hidden. And then we probably see Dallon with the Hard Rock. And yeah. Maybe. I do really love Bancho.
I don't know if it was Bancho this time, as I think Dallon just could not unready to put No Fail on at the start of the map. And yeah, we are getting double Hard Rock from both teams. Hidden Hard Rock for Mindfrost, Hard Rock for Dallon, hidden for Dido on the side of Indonesia. Hard Rock for Lightwine and Melwem, hidden for Skilla on the side of Sweden. And this goes back again to that object density, right? You'd think on most free mods you want to just take no mod on your best player and secure a good score. Well, on this map, for a lot of players, Hard Rock is easier because you don't have that added reading difficulty.
Yeah, and so far only Dallon and Mindfrost finding breaks as well as Lightwine. But Melwim and Skilla looking pretty confident so far. Dallon kind of being low ag so far. Melwim finding a break though. Now we only see Skilla against Dallon. The full combos, Lightwine and Dido having the same combo. Lightwine finding a break though.
Really close so far. Just the breaks from Lightwine, and Mindfrost so far. Najina on the side of Indonesia. There goes Dallon though, and Ninomai finding the break for Indonesia as well. And now it's just Dido with that hidden high combo, not quite an FC for Indonesia versus the hidden FC from Skilla on the side of Sweden, and two big Hard Rock combos for them. But I think Mindfrost's break was Bancho, because he's back at 600 combo somehow. Thank you, Bancho. And now we're getting, maybe that's a real break from Melwem. Like, I don't know at this point, Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe he's playing this map. Maybe he's playing DT1. Who knows? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, Mindfrost going down with a 700 combo, potentially. I don't know. Lightwine also going down. And now we are back to Skilla versus Dido now. Hidden against Hidden on this map.
Yeah, better combo for Dallon on the side of Indonesia compared to either of the supporting scores from Lightwine or Melwem on the side of Sweden. So that extra combo actually very important because Dido is not on an FC right now, and there's better accuracy for Skilla. So all things otherwise equal, we would see the score start going the way of Sweden, but thanks to that better Hard Rock combo from Dallon, it is not going their way at the moment. There goes Dallon's combo though, misses on the flowing jumps, and it's back to a 1v1, Skilla versus Dido. There goes Mindfrost as well, also for Indonesia. So both the supporting scores gone. It's Melwem and Skilla versus just Dido for Indonesia. Less than 100,000 score lead A little bit of map left, but it might be enough time for this score to go back over to the side of Sweden. Can Skilla hold? And can Melwem supplement well enough for this to go back their way? It's down to about 70k now, a little bit less than that. Dito's still holding strong, and I don't know if there's enough time now. And there goes Melwem.
Yeah,
that's definitely
Melwem
going
going down. I think this is over. Unless Dito breaks right now, but...
Not gonna happen.
Wow. Honestly, a hidden FC on this map is incredible. Dito breaking 50 combo on the beginning. And also FCing the rest of the map. I mean, I'm a harder player. Obviously, I'm biased, but this map is a little bit harder on the hidden, I would say, maybe. But these scores do not show that at all.
Yeah, just two really good hidden players duking it out on this map. And Indonesia, honestly, just better supporting scores. The better hidden FC was there for Sweden. Skilla finishing out the full combo, 99 accuracy, really solid score from him. But 570k for Mindfrost is really the big difference maker there, as Ninamai and Melwem on pretty much the same score, Delon and Melwem respectively. But yeah, Mindfrost, Nazuna Amamiya with a really good 570k on the Hard Rock, making the difference there for Indonesia, getting them that win by about 80k. It was pretty close, but 5-2 for Indonesia as they break back after Sweden was able to take that break point on the previous pick in Supernova. Now waiting on the next pick for Indonesia. DT3 speed not working out for them. Maybe makes you think they don't want to pick into that DT1. They did win on one of the free mods. They have had really good scores on some of the flow aim, so maybe you see something like a free mod 1 or a no mod 3. Maybe the free mod 3 as well. Again, Sweden banned out that hidden 3, but I think free mod 3 is kind of a trap into the Swedish roster because you have Skilla who can play the hidden, and then they can just double mod Hard Rock for the remaining members on their team, as we just saw on the free mod 2, and is going to be that free mod 1 instead. Energy Synergy Matrix, 160 BPM, a little flow aim, but mostly snap aim alt. Actually, the aim control on this is really hard.
Yeah, this map really, really hard on pretty much anything you can go on. Hit Hard Rock, hit it, no mod. And I do think, you do see Dito being a really, really, really good aim control player. Especially recently, the past few months, he's been improving even harder than ever before. And you also see, obviously, Skilla in the main focus here. One of the most prominent players in this tournament even. And I don't even know who's gonna take the last spot on this Sweden team. I do think it's probably Spinks with the Hard Rock. And maybe we do see Skydiver Nomad, Mindfrost, Hard Rock, Dito hidden. But we do also see Delon coming in here. And yeah, there is Spinks.
Yep, gonna be Spinks on the Hard Rock, probably for Sweden, Melum on the Nomad, Skilla on the hidden. Again, you've got Dito probably taking the hidden for Indonesia, Skydiver on, I would have to guess Nomad, if you want to have the really solid Nomad score from Skydiver to come through, but I think kind of interchangeable there on the bottom two for Indonesia. And we might see Skydiver step out. Yep, it's going to be Delon coming in for Indonesia instead, Ninamai Inanis. So looking to see probably the Hard Rock for Mindfrost. I'm really unsure exactly who's taking what. It is going to be hidden Hard Rock for Mindfrost. Double hidden for Dito and Delon on the side
that
of
is
Indonesia.
Surprising.
That's bold. Bold choice.
All right, let's see how this is gonna go out then, because double hidden on, overmodding this map is pretty ballsy. Melvin not having a good time at all so far in the beginning. Spinks also finding a break, Mindfrost finding a break, Dito finding a break, and just like that, only one to see.
Yeah, Delon also going down now for Indonesia. It's just Skilla on the hidden, and I don't know, man. This overmod is a little crazy for Indonesia on a map like this. To go double hidden is really wild. Like, aim control hidden is notably more difficult than aim control no mod. It doesn't add quite as much difficulty as on something like Bump, but it is still way more difficult than on no mod. And Skilla just showing off right now. Like, you wouldn't think this is a harder mod than no mod, but Skilla really popping off there, getting the entirety of the score lead for Sweden put together. It's the hidden hard rock for Nazna Amamiya that's getting the score slowly back the way of Indonesia right now. Biggest combo in the lobby for Mindfrost. Can he continue to hold with that hidden hard rock going into the second half of this map? Score lead now just going to swap over to Indonesia with that 400 combo on Mindfrost. 350 combo for Spinks on the hard rock though as well, so this could go back the other way pretty much instantly if we do see drops from Indonesia.
And there goes Mindfrost going down on that slider stream there with the hidden hard rock, the highest combo for them. And the combos are pretty even now. Melvin going down, but it's still enough for them. And Delon going down, Spinks going down, and we once again see Skilla versus Dito, and Dito is winning this one.
Yeah, Skilla finding the drop there, finding a chain miss, dropping a lot of accuracy. There goes Dito as well, though. It's all down to these low combos. Mindfrost on the hidden hard rock, gonna hold on when Melwem could not, and that is gonna secure the points at the end of the map for Indonesia. Just barely edging out the win there to go 6-3 in this matchup. 40k is all they need to take that point. Just barely ahead of Sweden. Slightly better score for Mindfrost over Skilla. Slightly better score for Dito over Spinks. And slightly better score for Delon over Melwem. So head-to-head a three-way win for Indonesia, but the cumulative score difference so low. I mean, ahead by 10-15k on all three members. It is incredibly close between these two teams.
And we now are in this territory where Indonesia is on match point and has 3 match points in total.
Gonna be tough for this team to bring it back if you are rooting for Sweden right now. They have 2 picks left. But there is another pick coming up for Indonesia after this pick from Sweden. So Sweden not only going to have to win their own next 2 picks, but also going to have to take a break point just to force the tiebreaker against Indonesia in this match.
Yeah, and even then, you still see that DT1 on Indonesia's side. I mean, that map is probably their best pick left. So for Sweden, there's no mod 3, hidden 1, hidden 2, free mod 3. And 3 mod 3, not really the most confident one. You did see Mindfrost being pretty good on this hidden hard drop on both 3 mod maps so far. And he could just do that again on the last 3 mod map as well. And then you also have those hidden maps where Indonesia has the slight edge over Sweden. And then you just have no mod 3 left, which is... It's an RNG pick sort of. I don't think many players are that incredibly confident and incredibly consistent on. So just picking that is, as potentially your last pick, is that would be interesting to do that.
And apparently chat not showing up on the overlay, but it is DT1 for Sweden here.
That
a little
is
surprised
surprising
to see this, but they have been picking into aim consistency. Yes, the DTs have mostly gone the way of Indonesia, but we did see a breakpoint on the DT3, and this one high BPM as well. 263 BPM with those streams at the end of the map. Maybe it's enough to give Sweden that edge, especially on the higher approach rate.
Yeah, that I did not expect it. I just said that Indonesia has probably the best shot at winning DT1 out of all the maps that are left, and Sweden is the team who is picking DT1. So, yeah, this one, it has to work. It's do or die now. All right, and there we go with the chat. So we do see Dido, Skydiver, and Mindfrost on this Indonesia side, and we do see Jagiko, Trumpetino69, and Skilla on the Sweden side. Both Trumpetino and Jagiko being pretty good on the DT3. And I mean, there's Dido, there's Skydiver, two really good tapping and aim players. Dido more so aim than tapping, but I think there's like one huge burst at the end, and I think Dido has the speed to hit that.
All right, do or die for Sweden. This is tournament life on the line. They lose this map, they lose the tournament and drop out top 12 in semifinals. Indonesia poised to advance into the top 8 with a roster of 4 players on this map if they can take a break point here. And there's a miss from Trumpetino to start things off. A third of the way into the map already. Another miss for Yagiko. It's matched by Nazuna, but there goes the entire roster for Sweden. It is 2 FCs for Dido and Skydiver still intact. They drop as well, but not before a 60k score lead goes over to the side of Indonesia. Very close on this map as both teams with no FCs remaining.
Yeah, Jagiko finding a break there, but I mean, his cover wasn't high. And now it's just dead even. It is, I mean, there is like a tiny bit ag advantage for Sweden here, but it's not really that much. Jagiko just not finding any cover right now. And we get into the second KI here now in the last quarter of the map. And if, I mean, both Skilla and Trumpetino have to hold on to their combos, and Trumpetino goes down, Dido goes down. It is 2 against 1.
And there goes Skilla as well. The stream section too much for Skilla, and Skydiver and Mindfrost will hold strong for Indonesia and bring home the match 7-3 against Sweden. They're going to knock them out of the tournament and move into top 8.
Yeah, 4 players getting into top 8 in 3-digit World Cup. That is a very respectable fee. And Sweden sadly going out 3-7. And going out at top 12, it's still an achievement for them. Definitely a decent Sweden roster here, led by Skilla, but had some really good supporting scores all over the board from all players.
Yeah.
But sadly, it wasn't enough against this Indonesia team with Skydiver, Dido, Dallon, and Mindfrost. I mean, that roster is just so decent, even for 4 players 3v3.
Yeah, really solid overall result for this Indonesian roster. Again, I think a lot of people probably would not have expected a 4-player roster to make it into the top 12, let alone top 8. And they are proving the doubters wrong here, that small rosters can still do very well. We saw it last year in 3WC as well with Italy. We saw it in the OST World Cup with Italy once again in 2023. And while Italy did exit the tournament top 16 this time around, Indonesia here to take up the mantle of the small but scary roster moving into the top 8. They will face the winner of Hong Kong versus Finland. That is over on the Russian cast right now. Don't believe that match is actually finished yet. I'm just going to check on the scoreline in that one. It is there's just finishing now, actually. 7-1 for Hong Kong. So Indonesia versus Hong Kong going to be the matchup in loser's bracket on this side. Good luck to both of those teams.
Yeah, both Nordic countries falling out in this round. Unfortunate for them, and we are going to see 2 Asian sides going against each other tomorrow. Hong Kong versus Indonesia on the other side of the losers bracket. I mean, and the winner of either Hong Kong and Indonesia are going to go against Brazil in the losers finals next weekend. On the other side of the losers bracket, we do have Germany versus Chile and Ukraine versus Canada, both at 19 UTC, if I recall correctly.
18 today.
Oh, 18, yeah.
Yep. That does bring us to the last point. Ukraine versus Canada going to be on the main stream here at 18 UTC. If you want to watch Germany versus Chile, you can head over to OSU RU Cast on their channel. That's where it'll be. We'll put that in the Discord announcements as well. If you want to stay up to date on all the information regarding 3-Digit World Cup, please join the server, and you can check out these stream announcements to see whenever we go live and the schedule for the weekend overall. Last couple of housekeeping things. If you are interested in supporting the 3-Digit World Cup, if you enjoy the gameplay, you want to see these players register year after year and continue playing at the high level we see from all these teams in the semifinals, please consider donating to the prize pool. You not only get to support the tournament directly, but you also get a cool supporter banner for your profile. And if you're not interested in the supporter banners or you want something a little extra, you can check out Blue Bunny as well. They were kind enough to sponsor the 3-Digit World Cup this year. And use code 3WC10 for 10% off their high-quality tablet covers. And yeah, thank you to Blue Bunny. Thank you to all of you for watching. Thank you to those who chose to support the tournament one way or another through either donations or through purchasing a tablet cover from Blue Bunny. Congratulations to Indonesia. Commiserations to Sweden. Thank you for playing. Good luck to Indonesia in their matchup against Hong Kong. Thank you to resoa for casting alongside me. And we'll be back in about an hour and 10 minutes with Ukraine versus Canada.
Yeah, thanks a lot for watching, also for me, and hope you guys are gonna be there for either Ukraine versus Canada and Germany versus Chile. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and goodbye, guys.